What's up, you guys? So, as you know, my MLB 2K12 died on me. And was I sad? Yeah, I was pretty sad. But then I remembered that 2K13 was coming out, and I was happy again. But then I remembered that this happens. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens on Tuesday. But just so you guys know, that's why there's no footage of any type of baseball stuff there. Let's talk about the Rays, shall we? 90 and 72, 3 games out of the East. You guys actually played really well toward the end of the year. I think you guys went 9-3, something like that. I'm not sure, but you guys played excellent toward the end. I was kind of pushing for you guys, but eventually, there was just too much ground to make up. The last series versus the Orioles that you guys played, incredible. You guys played absolutely incredible. So this year is going to be interesting. You guys have definitely lost some people. Upton being the biggest guy, I think, because he's such a dynamic player on the base paths. Obviously Desmond Jennings is a guy who, those two guys are really your guys' speed. You guys still have one of them. So Desmond Jennings, 13 home runs, 246 average, 314 on base percentage. He's going to be stealing a lot of bases. 31 stolen bases last year. He's going to be the guy who's going to be leading off every day, stealing bases. He could possibly, make some noise in that department. Your other hitting, it's going to be interesting to see how you guys really do, because last year you guys really relied on your pitching a lot. You guys are kind of like the A's in a little bit. You guys have good pitching, well, decent pitching, well, good pitching. And then you guys score like 4 runs, and then you rely on your pitchers to carry the slack of it. A lot like the A's. Longoria is going to be back for you guys, and that's going to be huge. A good Longoria, MVP candidate every single year. I think he's probably the best third baseman in the game, without a doubt. So with him there, I think that's going to help you guys a lot. Matt Joyce, 17 home runs, 59 RBIs, 241 average, and a 341 on base percentage. James Loney, you guys picked him up as well from the Dodgers. One thing about James Loney is he hasn't really been the same since he left Los Angeles. He started in Los Angeles. He was killing it, right? He went to Boston, and then it didn't really work out, and he came back to Los Angeles. 254 average, not the same. 33 RBIs. He can drive some runs in. I think you guys are hoping, you guys are plugging him in as a starter at first base. Really, really hoping that he goes into that form that he had when he was in Los Angeles. Hopefully he does, for you guys' sake. He's a good player. I do wish him the best. Ryan Roberts, a guy who I don't think is going to produce any type of offense, but he's there for defensive purposes. Yunel Escobar, you guys picked him up from Toronto. He is a pretty good player. He's pretty decent. He's good defensively. 282 average, 51 RBIs, 141 hits. He hits the ball, which is something that you guys need. You guys need someone who's probably going to be, he's probably going to be that number 2 guy behind Jennings. Move him around, and then you guys will eventually have your big boys come up and get those runs. One thing that I think is going to be a problem for you guys is Luke Scott. You guys need an actual DH. DH is just there for hitting. That's your sole purpose. If you can't hit, guess what? You're not a very good DH. 229 average, 55 RBIs. That's not going to cut it, dog. You guys need an actual DH. But let's talk about your pitching here, as I'm showing you guys the ace of your staff, David Price. I don't really need to talk about him that much. 20-5, 2.56 ERA. Cover boy for MLB 2K13. He is a monster. I think you guys are going to miss Shields, though. 15-10, 3.52 ERA. Your other pitchers down the line are kind of in that 3 range. So like I said, you guys as pitchers, except for David Price, probably going to give up those 3 runs. Hellickson, more. But if the back of your rotation can keep them in check, then you guys will definitely have a good chance of winning. The East is absolutely stacked this year, you guys. I don't see you guys making any type of noise. But let's talk about your relief here. Rodney is a beast. We know that. 48 saves out of 50 chances. 0.60 ERA. Um, it's going to be interesting who you guys put as your guy before Rodney, because Peralta, Joel Peralta, and McGee are both guys who you guys are thinking about putting there. Right now, according to your depth chart and according to things that I've read, you guys have Peralta there as your setup guy. I would actually go with McGee. Peralta, 37 holds. Now, if you guys don't know what a hold is, that's basically when a reliever comes in and holds the lead before the closer comes in. So 37 holds for Peralta, but a 3.63 ERA, as opposed to McGee, who has 20 holds and a 1.95 ERA. So I would go with McGee, but that's just based on, what I've researched. And again, if you guys are fans of the Rays, let me know. Maybe I'm way off base here. Maybe I'm way off base. So, having said all that, I have to go with my gut here and say that you guys are going to have a pretty decent year. David Price obviously is going to be a Cy Young candidate. He's going to be an All-Star. Longoria, if he can stay healthy, he's going to be a big boost for you guys. Desmond Jennings, I think, is going to pretty much stay where he's at in terms of the average and the stealing. I don't think anyone on your team is going to have a breakout year. Escobar is probably going to see that average dip a little bit because he's going to have more pressure on him. But I think at the end of the day, you guys are going to be able to produce the runs. Fernando Rodney, we know we're going to get out of him. He's not going to go and be terrible. He already was in Tampa Bay. He knows what it's like. He's able to, deal with the fact that 5 people come to your guys' games. so he's able to deal with that. I'm thinking probably you guys are going to finish 4th. I'm really high on the Blue Jays right now. I really am, just because I feel like they are just stacked. They are absolutely stacked. So I don't think you guys are going to be able to do that much noise. Yeah, sorry, that's just how I feel. Definitely check out my other videos, you guys. This is the last one of the East. So we have done the complete East preview, which is crazy because I never thought that I would get here. But just keep cranking them out. One thing I want to let you guys know also is that, as I said, there will be no gameplay until MLB 2K13 comes out on Tuesday. If anyone's getting that game, definitely let me know, because I think I'm the only one that's going to be getting that. But when you have an Xbox and don't have enough money to get a PS3, it's kind of like you're kind of stuck in that. You have to get something, so might as well get that. Another thing is, I was thinking a lot, and I was talking to a lot of my subscribers, a lot of my people who I really respect their opinions, and I decided that Living 5-0 is going to be strictly baseball. All right, now what that means is that there's going to be baseball videos and more baseball videos. This is going to be the place where, if you're a baseball fan, you can come, you can chill with other baseball fans. What that means is that NBA videos are going to stop. I'm sorry, but that's just what I feel like I like doing. I enjoy talking baseball, and that's what it's going to be like. So if you don't like that, I apologize. We can still play on Xbox Live, but that's going forward. That's how it's going to be. Yep. Till next time.